YouTubers, Pastorbobncc. Hey, those trees behind me, there's a very famous painting made of them. It's called On the Edge of a Continent. And that's what I wanted to look at. The last tree in that string. Come on, let's go check it out. So guys, as you can see, this tree is on the edge of the continent. It's like half in the dirt, and the other half of its roots are just exposed. It is barely hanging on. You know what? There used to be another tree beside it, probably another one of those. We're going to take a look at where those were. It's barely hanging on. You know what? I bet there's a lot of you that are just like that. You are barely hanging on. Come on, let's take a look. So YouTubers, there's its roots right there. About half of them are completely exposed. They're not holding on to anything. And you can see this little cove right here. That little cove is probably where another tree or two used to be a couple hundred years ago, and they too eventually fell into the ocean. But this guy right here, he's completely holding on. He's probably got about half his roots still in the dirt, and all it's going to take is one great big storm, and then it will fall over. And when it does, then that guy right there will be next, and one day it'll eventually get to him also. People, what do you do when you're barely hanging on? I mean, when you just, the storms of life just keep coming and coming and coming, and you're just barely hanging on. You know what you do? The first thing you do is you turn everything over to God, because everything's bigger than you. Everything is beyond your ability to handle it. So you turn it all over to God, and you let Him hang on for you. Because you know what? Even if you fall, He's got you. No matter what happens, you know where you're going. The storms of life are going to come. There's nothing you can do about that. I have storms hit me all the time, and sometimes I feel like I'm barely hanging on. But you know what? I hang on anyway. And the reason I hang on is because I know what's waiting for me. I know that God has me in the palm of His hands, and it doesn't matter how many roots I got left hanging on into the soil, God's got me. And you have to remember that. God has you too. The Bible tells us that the reward that we have, what's waiting for us in heaven, is beyond anything that we can possibly imagine. And Paul goes on to tell us that all of our trials, all of our tribulations, all the storms of life that hit us are not even to be compared to the glory that awaits us in heaven. People, hang on, because it's all going to be worth it. Hang on. God's got you. Anyway, I just wanted to give you something to think about. I know life's hard, but you know what? It's about to get a whole lot better. The Lord will be back pretty soon. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.